This is an overview of today's discussion. Discussion is going for the next 2 hours. Let me reinforce that, emphasize that the webinar is going for the next 2 hours, 10 to 12 o'clock, 2 hours. Okay. The first we'll discuss about this. What is the purpose of this seminar? I mean, this topic, education, and we discuss about what is the different career path for teachers. You join say family uh, what is the next around 25 to 30 years? What would be the different career path? What are the different positions to move up in their career ladder? And what are the competency levels, that is, competencies, knowledge, skill set, attitude, mindset? What are the things required? What are the things we have to learn from the beginning? From one day they start their career at different levels. I know people are in different levels right now attending that. So, when we discuss about different concepts and ideas, you also think about what is your level currently, and whether you speak to that, whether you overcome and get those things, and you want to learn something. And second one is this stakeholders. What are the different stakeholders' expectations? That's very important. And most of the education leaders right now that they focus only on this what this UGC says, university says, AIC says, and what are the control and I mean controlling agencies what they're telling that is what we work focus on. Whereas there are other aspects also, other stakeholders' expectations is also there. And in the meantime, I want to just remind, of course, most of the people know that. And yeah, even before 10 years back, this the director of technical education, director position was automatically senior most government engineering controlling over all the technical education in the state. But I don't know what the decision makers. share your vision.
bro வந்துட்டேன் bro.
What is the new policy making? Okay, then you have to think about the people is first. People first is very, very important. And instead of solving the problem, you have to identify the problem. These are the things. And if you go to the sixth level, of course, I wish and I want every teachers has to be a member of any policy making at the national level. Suppose it is the HMD department is calling you to become the ask you to serve as a member of the new education policy, how our Indian education system going to be to compete with the level. So are we ready? Are we prepared for that? That's what the question you want to do. So this is the another purpose of this webinar is that. Okay. So when you go to that level, of course, mission impossible, think unthinkable, fanatic discipline is very important. You have to apply the practical intelligence. These are the things very, very important, the highest level. So these words are there are the general concepts levels. Okay, so this meaning of this, suppose if I say that developing the next level of HOD, it may be vary from one person to another person. Okay, if you want to know what is that, please interact with me separately. I will do that. What is that developing any of the concepts, that suppose you want to know what is the think unthinkable, so it may vary from one person to another person depending upon your competency level, depending upon what is the level current position you are having. Of course it's a individualistic, okay, but these are the things are general concepts, right? And of course, sir, you have a team of people working in a particular institution, right? Yes, sir. Depending upon the institution's context, yes, so we want to go, what is the meaning of this policy making? What is the meaning of people first? That context also will be vary that, okay? So these are the things, general concepts. If you want to know what is the individual meanings, yes, you have to do individually, you have to have discussion. You want to collectively, you want to do for individual institution, yes, definitely we'll do that, okay? But generally these are the concept. We'll discuss next by one what is this concept generally that, right? We'll go to the next, right? So these are the education business. I call it as it's education business. So no more this is the charity is there. Okay. So this is continuously changing that. What is continuous changing? So these are the different stakeholders involving in this education business. First one, who it may be that you have to run this business unit as the profitable unit. So financial profit is the financial success is very, very important for any of this organization to run that. So what is the income is there? What is the expense? What's the profit budget? What is the return of investment? What is the recurring expense? What is the non-recurring expense? All these things is very, very important. So financial success is very, very important for any organization to survive. Second one is regulating agencies like UGC, AICT, university, government, any local authorities for approval of any new course, running college, any kind of approval is. This is another important, very stakeholder, important of the stakeholder. Third one is the investors. Where the investors means your organization may be government organization, your organization may be aided institutions or maybe private institutions. Who it may be that, yes, why they started this institution? What is the purpose they started that? We call it as the mission statement. That. Why this particular institution started? What is the purpose of starting this particular institution? So what they want to achieve next 3 years or 5 years? That's a vision. So what is the culture they want to develop that? So what are the guidelines, under the guidelines they want to run the institutions, and what are the rules and regulations? These are very, very important aspects in terms of investors point of view is very, very important. That. So next is stakeholder is the staff and students there. What is the staff and students there? What is their expectations? So what is the outcome they expect out of this running the programs, running the different courses is very, very important. So what are the value added service we are providing to the staff as well as to the students from the organization point of view, as the leaders point of view? And what is the quality, what is the meaning of the quality, what is the perception about the quality, and what is the culture you want to create among the staff and students, right? And what is the impact, the legacy we are going to create for these students and staff members, so that we can build up this excellent network of alumni. Alumni is purely based upon what is the legacy we are creating when the students are with us. This another stakeholders is there. Next, another stakeholders are this basically this parents, yes, and industries, yes, their employability is very, very important. And by and large, the society, what the societies expect from your organization, your institutions. So they look into the point of characteristics. If I say some XY is that institution, XY is a college, and XY is that university, definitely people will make one comment. So what is that that reflects the characteristics? So what kind of a characteristics are we going to, as a leader, you are going to create for your institutions? and what are the best practices you are going to implement and practice so that and the parents and industry and society point of view, the meaning of the quality is totally different, right? So the expectation of the parents, industry, societies that are totally you build up your brand image. So if you're a leader at the different levels, how they're going to build up the brand image of yourself, your department, your institution. That's very, very important. And the next one is change. Of course, change is inevitable. There are two types of change will happen. One is this internally some changes will happen. Internal forces will do to change, and external forces definitely externally some forces will make you to change. Right. Now, currently we are on this pandemic is there, so COVID-19 is there. So what is the post-pandemic? What are the changes we are going to how we are going to handle the situation, all this. So the change is every day, every minute is happening there. Okay. So these are as a leader, you are as a leader at different levels, you are at these different levels. How we are going to meet the expectations of different stakeholders? That's very, very important. Most of the time, we focus only on these regulating agencies. We always run behind this UGC, AICT, what universities says, all these things. Most of the time, we used to do that. But as a leader, if you don't focus on this finance, you don't focus on this in the investors' point of view, you don't focus on this parent society, if you don't focus on the change, all these things, what will happen in any institutions? You may be the leader, you may be the head of the institution, whatever you do that, but the people, less qualified, less competent people will take over all other aspects. If you don't take over all these things, that's what very, very important there. So, as a leader at the head of the institution, a leader at different levels, if you want to take any decisions, you have to consider the who are all the concerned the stakeholders are involved. So involve those stakeholders and take wise decisions. Suppose if you want to introduce any new course, new programs, so who are all the stakeholders you want to involve? So you have to decide. So involve those stakeholders and take a wise decision, right? Suppose if you want to fix the fee structure for the new introduce the course, then who are all the stakeholders are involved? So involve those stakeholders and take a wise decision so that your sailing of leadership will be very, very comfortable. Okay. So this is, and moreover, very important that the stakeholders' expectations is continuously changing. Please understand that. Okay. So last semester, what you may take some decision based upon the stakeholders' decisions will not be holds good for the current semester. So every semester, definitely the stakeholders' expectation will change. So you have to constantly aware of what is the changes happening, what is their expectations. Based upon that, you only can take decisions. So we have some kind of next is some kind of perception we have. What is the perception? So all perceptions are incorrect. What is that? So if I work very hard, if I work in a particular institution for, if I grow my knowledge capability, my success will be automatic. No, it is not. Your success is not automatic. And if you say that I'm working hard, very hard for keep on giving the results, you think that your productivity will grow by itself automatically. No, it will not grow. It will not grow. And I know some of the institutions, some people are working for more than 10 years or 15 years. When I interact with the people that when I ask some discrepancies, some incompetency, if I point out, and I ask the people, normally they have the perception, sir, from the beginning I'm working here. I have enough given to the institution. Now institution has to take care of me. This kind of attitude people have that. So if you reach at the age of, I mean, after 15 years, at the age of 35, 38, after 40, and you do not know completely, some of the people are blank. They do not know what to do when coming to the workplace. So these are the situations happening in many institutions is there. Okay. And if the people, this is what is the first half of the career and second half of the career. If you first half of the career, you're joining from first to 10 years or 15 years, you work hard, you do a lot of achievements, achieve success, all these things, you think that when you go to the principal level or go to the director level, the same kind of success will reflect. Definitely no, it will not happen there. Okay. And most of the time, these people think that organization success, that is what is organization success. If any institution is, going for this accreditation, they got accreditation A plus, or A plus plus, or sometimes 3 years, 5 years approval, they got it. That doesn't mean that every staff members working in this institution are successful. So organization successful is not individual successful. Suppose if you take the accreditation, you have 101 activities. You may be in charge for 5 activities and maximum 10 activities, or at the most 15 activities are there. So you know only about 15 activities. What happened to the rest of the 85 activities? So organization success will not guarantee the individual success, but reverse, the topsy turvy. That is, individual success is very very important for the organization success. Okay, and coming to this time, the experience people have this perception about this time is the experience is related to the time. That is number of years. If I work in number of one particular institutions, some 10 years or 15 years, yes, I have 15 years experience. No, it's not like that. So the time spent at work is not equal to experience. We'll see what is that. Okay, so these are the some of the incorrect myth or incorrect wrong perception people have that we want to clarify all these things, right? So when we start with this, yes. So what do you do for yourself coming to the work? So you see, when you go to the workplace, you do a lot of activities per day, go to 10 to 15 daily, 10 to 15 different activities are there. So let us classify the activities in between two cases. That is, what is you have to do and what you want to do that. So what is have to do? So fulfill the institutions or organization's mission, vision, core values. If any institution having that, are really bother about this mission, vision, core values, or only this point of accreditation point of view, just put it this place in different places. I don't know. It's leave it to the individual institutions, and we spend very less time only those things in go to the workplace. But most of the time, we spend our time what activities demanded by the authorities and bosses. Okay, all these activities are is whether it is important, whether it is relevant, whether it is significant. To what we do not know that. To what we do not know that. So this any activities which is important, any activity which is relevant, which is any activity is significant, related to what is a big question mark is there, you will find the answer. Coming to this, I want to do the activity. Suppose if no authorities demand any work on particular day, how do you spend your time at workplace? How do you spend your time, effort, energy at workplace if no demand from any authorities? Are you engaged? Are you not engaged? Are you actively disengaged? Actively disengaged means they are doing activities totally irrelevant to the organization, totally irrelevant to the individuals. So there are three types of people you have to engage in the workplace. Whether you actively engaged, not engaged, actively disengaged. There. Okay. So what is the meaning of that? So which means that which is important to you, which is relevant to you, which is significant to you. So okay. So in that sense only this mission is coming in the picture. That so what is your mission? Individuals, faculty, individual staff members' mission. What is their vision? What is the core values they want to practice? That we'll see one by one. What is that? So mission, vision, values. Okay. First, we talk about this mission. Mission statement is nothing but the purpose. Purpose. Why I do this particular activity? What is the importance of that? Why I do that? Or otherwise, I bluntly ask the question that why do you choose this profession? Any profession beyond your getting salary, beyond your making money? That is your purpose. Of course, money is very, very important. That as I told that at the beginning of the career, yes, we need our basic needs are have to be. We need to pay the bills. Definitely, money is very, very important. But how long? How many years you want money is important? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or throughout the career. So if the money is important throughout the career, you cannot be a leader. You cannot be a leader. So how fast, how quickly, within 3 years, within 5 years, within 10 years, you want to find out your purpose beyond making money, beyond getting the salary. If you find out the purpose, yes, that is your mission. Then you are the good. Definitely you are eligible for a leader. Okay, so this is what you call it as the mission statement. So mission is what is the individual staff members, individual faculty's mission? What's the purpose they're working beyond salary? Okay. Second one is what is the mission? I mean purpose of your department, whether it is electrical, civil, mechanical, whatever it may be that. So what is the purpose? Why students want to study mechanical engineering? Why students want to study this civil engineering? What's the purpose beyond making money? So you have to have a clarity on that. Then only you can become the leader. And finally, that what wherever the organization you work that. So what is the why this organization is running? Why this business is happening beyond making money? Okay, that's very very important. That if you find out the reason why this mission statement beyond making money, the money will follow automatically. I will guarantee. That doesn't mean that I'm not giving this. See, it is a history. If you take any top companies running for more than 100 years, They are working for the common purpose. That is why the money is flowing, money is following them. So this is what we call it as the mission statement. Okay, so mission is nothing but the purpose why this I do this particular activity beyond say making money. If you find out the reason, yes, money will follow you. Don't worry about it. Next one is this vision statement. Vision statement is what I want to create within the next 1 year, 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it may be, that beyond my current capabilities, limitations, and beliefs. That's very, very important. So I want to complete, those who do not complete the PhD, they may have this, I want to complete my PhD within next 3 years or 5 years. Some target is. So beyond your limitations, capabilities, you have to create some mission statement. Some institution may want to go for accreditation within next 2 years or 3 years. This kind of examples there. So what I want to create that. Okay. Next one is this core values. So on what basis people will take decision, this we call it as the core values. You want to take a decision, small decisions, a big decision, and based upon what that, whether it is a teamwork, whether it is honesty, these are the things, some of the core values that core values will decide the culture of the organization. Culture is nothing but when two or more staff members or two or more students are meeting together outside the classroom, corridor, canteen, on the bus, what is the topic they are discussing? That's the culture of the organization. If they talk about this accreditation, if you talk about this is a research paper, I'm working on that, how to do that, how to prepare the paper, how to present in the international conference. These are the topic, if the people are talking about that, then that is the culture. So when two or more students or two or more staff members, what is the topic they're discussing outside the classroom or inside the classroom or wherever it is, that we call it as the culture is it. Now, that mission statement is a constant statement, it will not change. Whereas the meaning of the mission statement will automatically get changed. Say for example, if you take one Merck, there is a medical company is there, the company is running more than 75 years. The purpose of the Merck company is to preserve the human life. There's only one statement is it, to preserve the human life. Then medical company. So they want to find out medicines for any new diseases coming up. They're all worked. Now this cancer is there. People want to find out. They invest all the R&D and people all focusing only to find out the medicine for the cancer. Once cancer medicine is found out for the cancer, yes, they find out what's a new disease coming up. They all focus on that. So whenever the changes is happening, the new disease is coming. Whenever the new threat is coming to a human being, that their focus is to preserve the human life. Okay. So to preserve the human life, the statement is constant. The meaning of the statement is always getting changed when the changes is happening there. So this vision statement and what you want to create, what is the core value, all should be aligned with your mission statement, your purpose. That's very, very important. That's why we call it as the alignment is there. Now, in an organization, so if you want to align, you want to map, you have to synchronize with the individual's mission, your department mission, or your organization mission. That's very, very important. Once your alignment is very, very excellent, then definitely this is another qualification you want to become a leader of any organization. So this is what, so don't confuse with the vision and visionary leader. Visionary leader is different, vision is different. Okay, the purpose, the mission is the purpose. Okay, vision is you want to create. So once the vision you want to create within 3 years or 5 years, once you reach it, you have to change that. Because suppose you want to get your PhD degree within next 3 years or 4 years, once you get it, again you have to change the vision statement. So new vision you have to change that, whereas the mission will not change, the purpose will not change. So beyond making salary, beyond making money, why I want to do this particular activity, that will not change. That will never change. Okay, this is what the difference between this mission, vision, and core values and culture of that. Okay. Yeah, so these are some of the examples I want to show. Sony is after Second World War, the Japan was completely become zero. Then the founders of the Sony, they want to realize that after 25 years, after 10 years, any product goes out of this Japan, they want to become number one product. That is the purpose, that is the mission statement, they fix it up. Of course, you know about the Sony, I don't want to give any detailed discussion of that. Second one is the HP companies. Again, they have this. These founders are no more. Whereas changing of the leaders, they're taking care of this core purpose, core values, and envision vision statement. They're completely running the. There are more than 100 companies. If you take 100 companies running more than 100 years successfully, just because they have the clarity on what they want to, what is their purpose beyond making money. This company is going there, and this is another company. The community is there.
And of course, even I want to show some local guys this Aravind Eye Hospital. 6 months back, I visited this Aravind Eye Hospital in Chennai. That I feel that quality is there. See, the mission. What is this mission statement? Provide compassionate and quality eye care affordable to all. Affordable to all. What's the charge? They charge only $100. So if you go give $100, you have a complete checkup about your eyes up to about 2 to 3 years it takes. The way they treat you, once you come out of that, you feel that the quality is there. That is yeah, that comfort is there. So this is what is mission, the purpose of and the power of this mission statement is there. You want to have the experience. I don't know how many of you have in this visiting Aravind Eye Hospital. Feel that quality is there. Next, coming to this, talking about this competency, strength or potential, there are small difference between the strength, potential, all these things. Of course, let us put it to the common this competencies. We talk about the competency. Okay. So the competency is nothing but the combination of part of knowledge, a part of the skill, part of talent, what's the technology you're going to use it. All this interconnected with that. Okay. So that's why I put it in the equation that is competency is nothing but equal to knowledge multiplication by skill, multiplication by technology, multiplication by growth mindset. Okay. So these are the things. Why I put this multiplication factor is there. If you have the knowledge, highest level of knowledge, if you don't have the skill, then whatever the knowledge you have, there is no you can't you don't have any competency there. Suppose knowledge level scale you have 0 to 10, the scale you have 8 for accomplish particular task. If you don't have the skill, zero skill, then whatever the knowledge you have, in the 0 to 10 level 8, there is no use of it. So that's why the for emphasis is on the multiplication factor is there. So competency is the knowledge, skill, the technology, and growth mindset is. We'll see one by one. You know what is knowledge is nothing but information. See, your domain knowledge or domestic, subject domain knowledge is there. That okay. I want to divide the two kind of knowledge. One is that knowledge is constant to extend. What is to extend? So, for example, if you take the Newton's law of cooling or Newton's law of gravitation, so far, till now, no one has challenged that Newton's law of gravitation. So the law holds good. It's constant. In that sense, it's constant. Okay. If you take any artificial intelligence, data science, or what robotics, whatever it may be, that so every day people are challenging the old knowledge. They are bringing the new knowledge to the society that in the professional society that. So what some kind of knowledge is constant, which means that so until now no one's challenged that the old knowledge. Some areas is completely daily the knowledge is coming there. So you in your domain knowledge, in your domain subject, you have to identify what are the knowledge is constant, which means that no one so far challenged, and what are the knowledge is continuously changing that. So I know that, of course, you know that whenever the knowledge is changes, you have to update yourself. That we call it as the knowledge part. It. Right. What is coming to the skill part is skill is nothing but how to accomplish a particular task, step by step procedure. Okay, so if you want to accomplish a particular skill task, no problem. You do repeat, you do practice. Definitely, you will become a master in it. So when doing the simple practice is not sufficient, you need discipline to practice. Very very important. Not only discipline practice is very important, you need some mentors to tell you that what are your catch points to improve the highest performance in the particular accomplish a particular task. So as a teacher, as a leader, you have to identify that every individual's catch point, what is their potential level, where you want to push them. So it is a responsibility of the coach, it's responsibility of the teacher, responsibility of the leader to identify every individual's catch point so that you can elevate number of people to reach their maximum competency level. Okay. I don't know how many of you know about this 10,000 hours rule. If you Google it, you can easily find out that. What 10,000 hours rule says that so any task, if you want to become any activity, any skill set, if you want to become number one in this world, if you practice for 10,000 hours, definitely on that day you will become number one in this world. That's we call it as the 10,000 hours rule is there. Yeah. And of course, this is the combination of coming to the third part is this talent. So before talent, I make a note of this. Knowledge and skill can be transferred from one person to another person. Knowledge and skill can be transferred from one person to another person. Okay. Talent is the inborn characteristics. Talent cannot be transferred from one person to another person. It's not possible. Impossible. You can't do that. Okay. So if any particular activity, if you are not able to accomplish a particular task to the expected level of achievement, you have to identify whether it is due to lack of knowledge, whether it is due to lack of skill, or whether it is due to lack of talent. Okay. If it is a lack of knowledge and skill, yes, definitely you can get it practice, get it gained, then you can accomplish a particular task. Okay. If you are not able to accomplish a particular task due to lack of talent, it's not possible to accomplish a particular task. So you have to find the alternatives that you have to find that just a different story is there. Okay, leave it now. So if now you understand that if you want to accomplish a particular task, if you have the highest level of competency in a particular activity, you have the knowledge, relevant knowledge, sufficient skill set, and sufficient talent is there. If you're not able to perform a particular task, identify whether it is due to knowledge or due to lack of skill or whether it is due to lack of talent. That's what we talk about it. Right? Now, when situation changes, the talent and knowledge will not work out. So these are the limitations of the knowledge and skill levels. So knowledge and skills are situation specific. Okay. So if you're working in one organization, you gain some knowledge and skill set. If you go to another institution for some genuine reasons or different reasons, whatever the knowledge and skill you gain in one place will not be applicable to another place. So these are the limitations of knowledge and skill. So when you go to when the situation changes, when you go to the different place, a new place, only your talent will make you success. So only your talent will work you get the things done. Okay. So this is the difference between the knowledge and skill and talent. Okay. So when you go to the context change, when the situation changes, that's why we used to say that update your knowledge. That is the meaning of de-learn and relearn. What's the meaning of the de-learn and lean? So most of the people misunderstood that. So why I study, suppose if I study, when people talk about so I want to study C++. When I go to the interview for people asking for Java, then why I study C++? When I go to interview, when I join the job, then I will start learning something else. What is required? Not like that. When the situation changes, yes, definitely this knowledge and skill has limitations, right? That is the meaning of then you have to de-learn whatever you learned and you have to relearn from the scratch. And of course, again, this you have to reskill and upskill what is required for the local context. So this is the difference between the knowledge, skill, and talent. Your competency, your strength, your potential is the combination of knowledge, skill, and talent. It's very, very important, right? Coming to that, then people talking about the weakness. So weakness is not related to the person. Please understand that. Its weakness is related with respect to the role. So if you one role you are doing certain activities, you are successful. When your role is getting changed, suppose if you are working in department HOD, yes, you have some knowledge, skill set, talent, you are successful there. By seeing you are successful, people put you in the examination cell, examination in charge. That role demands different kind of skills, knowledge, different skill of skill set. Okay, so when you go to the HOD level to the control level, I mean exam cell in charge, that role demands different set of knowledge, different set of skill set. And if you don't find or identify and if you don't quickly learn this thing, then that will become weakness. That is, the weakness is related to either due to the lack of knowledge, is it due to lack of skill, or due to lack of talent. You have to identify that. So this is why some of the activities some people are effortlessly they do excellently, and same activities it's very very frustratingly difficult for others. So weakness is not related to the person; it's always related to the role. When the role gets changed, you have to identify what is the new role demands. Coming to this workplace, yes, workplace environment, you know that every organization is involved intense contact with the people. So people is very, very important. People and practical experience, working relationships with less capable colleagues, rivals, driven people, gossiping people, yes, self-centered people is there. Any organization, if organization is having more than two people, definitely politics will be there. So without politics, you cannot run, you cannot lead any of the organizations, right? So you have to understand the dynamics of that. So these are very, very important that you have to accept, understand very clearly that, okay. And there are three types of work you can do in any workplace. That some of the activities you do independently, okay. I mean, at the beginning of the level, at the beginning of the career, you do a lot of independent activities. And you go to gain some 10 or 15 years experience, and many of the works it depending upon others. You can't do independently, so you have to depend on others. So many people are there. And going to the highest level, leadership level, definitely Interdependent is very, very important. So the interdependent is nothing but I am depending upon you, you are depending upon me. So together only we can accomplish any of the tasks. Individually, at the highest level, at the leadership level, individually we cannot achieve anything else. So interdependent is very, very important. That okay. So I am depending on you, you are depending on me. So together only we can achieve certain success. So there are excellent opportunities are available at every work level is there, right? And of course, yeah, we understand that if you, currently, if you go for any organization, five different generation of the people in workplace is there. Now, this is a new COVID. This you had the corona illness is there. People born under 2000 now, maybe at 20 years old people. Anytime they're coming to the job in the workplace, they call it as the after a million years. The people call it as the coronials and quarantines. Quarantines. Teenage is there. People add is the quarantines. These are the new terms is coming up and the people, the babies born during this period, we call it as the corona babies. They're the new people. So I don't know. This is one set of people born between 1925 1946. Maybe another 5 years they may be retired. And these people, these coronavirus quarantines, corona babies, are coming to the job. They're joining, so joining with the workplace. So at any point of time, who are you may be a baby boomer, you may be Generation X, you may be millennial, you may be Generation X. That when the time goes up in any workplace, always five minimum five different generation of people working together always is there. So when five different generations are there, please understand that each generation has their own belief, their own value system. They have their own knowledge, their own skill set, their own competency levels are there. So you have to understand all these things accordingly. Have to deal with the people, you have to interact with the people, you have to get the things done. Otherwise is very difficult to lead any organization. Okay, let us first coming to the next work. What's the work or the definition if people want to do work? Normally, I don't like to use the word work, job, all these things. I hate all these things. It's only responsibility is there. When you are working in any organization, you always talk about the responsibility. This is my responsibility. So I am taking third year mechanical, yes, material science paper I'm taking. I am responsible for material science subject for this third year mechanical students. That kind of talk, why we are not able to do, I don't understand. So maybe during since the British people, we always talk about the work, the job, work, job. When you talk about the work and job, you always get frustration in your back when psychologically get rejections there. So use the word responsibility. When you say you are responsible for some activities, yes, you have some self-esteem, you have some ownership on that. Yes, you can deliver better on that. Okay. So let it be okay. What are you doing that? So what is the work we talked about? This what is the core to the human experience? What is that? If you don't have the work, what do you do? Like how this Vadivel is asking that. It's very, very difficult to be ideal that. So meaning work means meaningful to individuals, value to others. What is the value I'm creating for my students? What's the value I'm creating for my peers? What is the value I'm creating for my department? What is the value I'm creating for my organization? So that kind of meaningful work we have to do that. That's why first I told you that are you engaging, are you not engaged, or actively disengaged? So these are very, very important that, okay. So value creation is that how much you are, and the what way and which way you are going to spend your time, effort, energy, which you create value to the people. In the context of your responsibility, in the context of building the relationship with the people, and of course, including your parenting. So that we call it as a responsibility work or job that. Okay. So this is what you have to identify, you have to discover that. You have to discover yourself that. So what is that? I'm committed. What is the responsibility so that I can create the value. So this is the definition of the work is there, right? And coming to this work, I'm putting it into three kind of what is the meaningful work I'm talking about. There is three kinds of work is there. One is the mapping. Mapping means that I told this independently. You have to do individually or with others. That is work before the work. Mapping means work before the work. So individually or with others, you do some planning, you do some strategy meetings, you set priorities, I mean, so you if you don't plan, if you do some meetings, priorities, then you lose your focus, which means that you are not engaging. So this is mapping. Is you have to work before the work, some planning and meeting. All these things very, very important for any work. Okay, if you don't do that, definitely you lose focus. You cannot concentrate on the work. Next one is this making, that is actually doing the work. Yes, I did that. So making what is typically comes to mind when think of your work. Executing the task, tackling the objectives, creating value of any kind, engaging in the reports, delivering tangible values, all this. So this is a very critical area. You have every chance of distractions is possible here. And making actually doing the work, yes, definitely we have to work within some constraints, some limitations is that there. So you would need clarity on some guidelines. That's why we talk about this mission, vision, core values. So when you do some actually doing the work, when you want to take some decisions, how do you make decisions? Yes, what is your vision? What is your vision? What's your core values? So based upon only you can able to make the decisions then. So you have to be very, very careful in actually doing the work because this is the area you can get a lot of distractions. Now people are calling distraction. There is attraction of other opposite side. So people don't use nowadays distraction, attraction of opposite side. So like social media. So social media attracts you more than what's your responsibility how to do that. So that is why you have this actively disengaged. So this is the making is another kind of work. It's mapping and the making. That is the work before the work, actually doing the work. You have to do the work because these are the works any organization the authorities are demanding that of course yes it's very very important that you have to do that otherwise your organization cannot sustain that right now coming to the third type of work that is a meshing that is the work between the work what is the work between the work suppose this is what we call it as what you want to do that so what is your personal mission personal vision personally what you want to achieve personally what is the value you want to create for your own stakeholders these are the work you want to do why we are saying work between the work? Suppose if you do some planning of the work, you are sending your planning or something meetings, sending for approval. You don't find another task to take up. You have to wait for some time. So during that waiting time, you have to do your own personal work. Your own this kind of that we call it as the machine work. That we say is as work between the work. Suppose if you want to do PhD that, see you go to the workplace that see some work, some responsibilities given, you completed it. You are waiting for some genuine reasons. Okay, that during that waiting period, what you want to do that. So that kind of work you have to do this kind of works. So these work don't get paid for it rarely direct to the results. Nobody asking you, okay. And this is not important, organization important, this is your personal importance, is very, very important. Okay. And these are the things you can read about. This we call it as the meaningful work. Okay. So when you go for, applying for the one position to the higher level position, suppose if there are 4 or 5 different departments is there, different 5 HODs are there, and one principal position is vacant that definitely all the 5 HODs will compete with each other. Okay, when you go for the interview or discussion for this, whether you are eligible to get the principal position, people always talk about this meshing work. People never ask what you did mapping work or making work because this work is everybody's responsibility. If you are in an organization, everybody has to do that. People will not never discuss about these things because everybody knows that what you did, what you actually did, all these things you know that. But meshing work, that is work between the work, what is your personal mission, what is your personal vision, what is your personal values, these are the things will help you to move in the career path very quickly. So these are the things what I want to do work is very very important that we call it as a meaningful work. So if in organization if you want to work, yes definitely you have to work what the organization authorities have demanded, our responsibilities, our role demands, yes definitely we have to do that. In between that, yes, what is my personal agenda? What is my personal mission? What is my personal vision? I want to achieve that. Those things also you have to parallelly do that. Don't say that I don't have any time, which means that you are not qualified for the leadership role. Okay, so when you go for the career path to the highest level in the shortest, speed. This meaningful work will give you the speed, will give you the drive, will give you the accelerate your career path very fast. If you focus more on that meshing work, that is a meaningful work. Coming to this, any organization become always come with this unplanned activities, planned activities. What is that? So if you go to the organization, definitely, of course, most of the people will come some planned activities, minimum planned activities. Of course, as per the timetable, you want to go to the class, right? Okay. So always expect that unplanned activities as soon as you go to the workplace definitely will come. The unplanned activities may be at the individual level, okay, at the department level, at the organization level. So if you go to the workplace, You have some planned activities. All of any time these unplanned activities will come. So you have to reprioritize that your priorities depending upon which is important to that. Whether it is your individual planned activities important, whether it is a department planned activities important, or organizational activities are important. So what is you have to very frequently reprioritize your work depending upon the requirements, depending upon the priorities. Okay. So what is the frequency? The priority will change. If you work in educational institution, definitely every period, after 15 minutes, is changed. I expect every 15 minutes the priority will change because the period that is the root cause of this changing of the frequency there. So every 1 hour definitely you have to reprioritize your work at workplace as far as your education institution is concerned, because every time the timetable, according to the timetable, the 15 after as soon as the 15 minutes is completed, definitely some change will happen. I mean, things will not go as per our expectation, as per our plan. So you have to reprioritize it every 1 hour. So what basis context will change? You have to identify. It's depending upon the individual's organization, individual working place. What is the context to change? What basis people behavior will change? So you cannot expect your colleagues, your people always behave in the same manner. Okay. When the situation changes, people behavior will definitely will change. So it's also depending upon the context, depending upon the individual, depending upon the organization culture, it makes that. So for example, suppose for first period, some ex staff has to go there. So for ex staff is not able to come due to some genuine reason in the first hour. Okay, you are asked who has to go for the first hour, who has to decide it? Whether the class teacher has to decide it, whether the HOD has to decide it, I don't know, whether the class coordinator has to decide it. And people, most of the people are reluctant to go for the first hour because it's not planned. So if you ask the people to identify, suppose if HOD is identify the first hour, some class is not there. If your HOD is told you, says that you go to the first hour, then you'll get irritated. Your behavior will change because you're not planned. You're not prepared for that. Okay. So these are the things you have to identify if you want to become a leader of the education institutions. So what is the frequency? The priority will get changed, and what basis the context is changed. What are the contexts you have to identify, and you have to be alert about that, and how people will behave. Behavior has changed. You have to identify that if you want to become a leader. Coming to the meaningful work satisfaction. So what is the work satisfaction? So work satisfaction defines that one feels after having achieved a challenging goal that is in doubt. So I have the doubt whether I'm able to do that. Your people, your mentor, your boss, or your some colleague will push you. Yes, you can do. Able to do that. You can do. Or your intuition says that I have some doubt. Yes, anyway, I'm able to complete it. So that kind of work, if you're able to complete it successfully, you feel 100% satisfaction. That we call it as the satisfaction. And of course, if you want to have the work satisfaction, always take the assignments, tasks which is in doubt.